Here's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour. We have some wonderful guests for you. EKU pitcher Will Bryan joins the show, and then a great conversation with EKU women's basketball assistant coach Abby Owings. I promise you're going to enjoy it. That's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour.
McKinney looks, sets to the pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes, we're going to play up-tempo, we're going to play with unbelievable passion, and then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.
Welcome into an all-new edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour, presented by IPM Pest and Termite, Central Kentucky's neighborhood pest professionals. Make sure you visit myipm.com to get more information about IPM Pest and Termite. If you're seeing ants, which they are coming out very, very soon, centipedes, spiders, mice, any kind of pests, make sure you get a hold of IPM Pest and Termite. If you're here in Central Kentucky, I promise you will not be disappointed. And make sure you let them know that the Sports Stove sent you as well. Welcome into this new edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour. We've got two great guests for you today. Not a whole lot of other content to give you, I suppose, this midweek episode, but plenty of good things happening within the world of EKU athletics. The beach volleyball team is in full gear right now, as well as baseball and softball. Also, but before we get into those things, we want to dive back into basketball. EKU women's basketball. We've told you all year how much we absolutely loved this team. Enjoyed watching them, the grit, the grind, the hustle. Everything about this girls team was really, really fun to watch. And part of the reason why they were able to have such a good year this year in the first year under Coach Greg Todd is the wonderful coaching staff that Coach Todd put together. And one of those staff members is joining us tonight, this morning, or whenever you're listening to this, joining us in this episode, and that's Abby Owings. Some exciting news about her just came out as well, and we'll get to that in the interview. All of our guest interviews are presented by All Around Roofing. All Around Roofing is a locally owned company, and they service all of Central Kentucky. They do not just roofing, although they do roofing repairs and replacements. They also do siding, windows, all kinds of other stuff. Anything on the exterior of your home, they're going to take care of for you. So All Around Roofing presents the interview today with EKU women's basketball assistant coach Abby Owings. Joining us now is EKU assistant women's basketball coach Abby Owings. Abby, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to talk it up with you.
Yeah, coming off of the exciting announcement last week, the WBCA announced you as part of the 30 under 30 honorees this year. So congratulations on that. What does that mean to you?
Thank you so much. It's pretty cool to, get something like that. But I got to be honest with you, there's a lot of great people behind that award, first and foremost being Coach Todd and all he's done for me. He's given me a lot of opportunities, and, he has a special place in my heart because he gave me my first job. So there's a lot of that I want to, thank him for, but I've just been blessed with a lot of great friends and mentors and coaches and, family members along the way. So I'm just a product of my environment. So I'm just very grateful.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about that with Coach Todd. You were a GA for him at Moorhead right out of college, correct?
That's right. Yep. He gave me my first job as a graduate assistant at Moorhead. I know we don't like to talk about that here at Richmond, but yeah, got my first job for him, and we had a heck of a year that year. So
how were you guys connected? How did you guys get connected for that?
So, Coach is a Kentucky guy, obviously. I actually played on the Kentucky All-Star team with his daughter, Brooke. Her and I are the same age. So he kind of followed me there, and then he was at Transylvania University at the time. I was getting ready to go into college, and he recruited me a little bit to Transy, but I ended up going to Thomas More, which is where I'm from. And I don't know, we've just always kind of known each other, and then when Brooke and I played on the All-Star team, we got more connected.
Yeah, I was always kind of curious of how that worked out. Now, when he called you to come to EKU with him, you were in the Louisville area. You were at Bellarmine, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when the announcement went out, and I was like, oh, that's so awesome, because I knew how much he wanted this job. So for him to call me and want me to come back and, take over his alma mater with him, I was thrilled.
That's exciting. You guys, this team from this last. Sorry, you guys lost 3 seniors. You're losing 3 seniors. We've had Bria and Jayla on the show in the past. We've had Bria on a couple times. What are those 3 girls, Ilea included in that? What happens with losing players like that and leaders like that?
Well, those 3 did a phenomenal job of sort of setting the tone for EKU women's basketball. Bria, I don't even want to get started with her. Like she had 3 coaches in 5 years. Jayla transferred in from Texas State. Her situation wasn't very easy. And then Ilea, coming from Cincinnati, has 2 ACL tears. So they've each individually been through a lot of adversity. And so to have them kind of lead us was really cool, because, they have been through a lot individually to, just personally, I guess. And so for them to be our leaders and kind of show us the way and lead us through this new conference and this new coaching era, it was pretty cool. And not to mention they're great people on and off the court. So they really set the example for EKU women's basketball, and we're going to miss them. Obviously, they're all long, tall, big, and strong. And so, we're losing kind of the forward position, if you will. So they're going to be hard to replace. And, we've already obviously started that now and in the season. But we're losing a lot of length there. And so, but just ultimately very proud of what they've done. And they've set the tone for EKU women's basketball.
I was going to ask this later, but we'll go ahead and ask it now. You talked about it. You're losing length. You're losing size as well. There's still some on the team. You made one addition mid-season, and Marissa, when she came in. So far, that's the only addition that's been announced that we know of. So what are you guys looking to get to fill out the rest of the roster? What attributes are you looking for, I guess?
Yeah, I think obviously the length piece is going to be huge. Not to mention, Ilea and Bria were top 5 in the ASUN conference for rebounding.
Wow.
So those are 2 things that we really got to go after. As far as personnel-wise goes, we have to have somebody that is willing to rebound and willing to defend and play really hard. And then you look at Jayla. I think Jayla ended up, top 10 in the conference for scoring. So we're losing a lot of scoring there. I think as a coaching staff and as a team, we're aware of what we're losing. But replacing guys that are top 5, top 10 in conference, we have some major shoes to fill, and we're aware of that. So
some of the whole team's young. Marissa comes in; she is a junior this year. I don't know how that'll classify out next year, but you've got basically the rest of the team is classified as freshman or sophomore this season, so they'll be sophomore and juniors next year. But you've got some really talented young ladies on the squad. You had a freshman that started most of the season. You had another true freshman that played a key role off the bench in Kara, and of course Bree is the other one I was talking about. And then, but then you've got some sophomores that'll be juniors stepping up next year. Emma played a big role in a number of games this year. So that you've got to be excited, because you guys came in this year establishing what's going to be, right. You're trying to set that tone for the future while still trying to win in the present. So how are these girls that are coming back next year? Because I haven't heard of anybody else leaving other than the 3 seniors. So how are these girls that you guys got to work with all season? You'll get a full off season with them hopefully now. What excites you, I guess, about the core that's still here?
Well, they're full of energy. Like I don't. They're ready to go every single day. They're excited about getting back to work. And as a coach, you love that. And that's your core coming back. I thought we had a great freshman class. I thought, Kara, Kalissa, Bree, whatever you want to call Leach and Allie, redshirt freshman, or however you want to phrase that. But they brought a lot to the table. They set the tone, and, like I said, prior, they're just eager to get back into the gym. And we're excited about that. Emma Hacker's coming back, who had a great year for us. Ari Kirkwood, she had a great year for us, and she was the, defensive player in the OVC at one point. So we're gaining a lot back. And, I know Coach Todd is excited for what we do bring back. And, but also with the understanding that we have to add pieces as well. But ultimately, to answer your question, they just bring a lot of energy. And as a coaching staff, we're excited about that.
Yeah, it's got to be great, especially because I asked Coach Todd. We had him on before the last ASUN game that you guys played in the tournament, and so we weren't doing a recap at that point because the season wasn't over yet. So we're trying to be respectful of that and not asking too many future questions. But Ari, she's a girl that for whatever reason I keep forgetting about, but she seems so valuable to this team. I mean, she does literally everything. Hustles, plays defense, plays offense. Gives you that grit as well. And I don't know why I keep forgetting about her, but you throw her name in there with everybody else that I mentioned. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, what a great group coming back. And setting the tone for moving forward, these girls have it, right? I mean, they've caught what you guys are trying to do.
Absolutely. They've bought into, Coach Todd. And they have, they believe in him. They believe in our staff, and they're little coaches on the floor, if you will. They want to win, and they understand what it takes. And we're so thankful for how hard they worked every day. Having a new coaching staff and a new coach come in, that's a challenge, especially when you're an 18 to 22-year-old young lady. You're just not really sure what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to act. And so you're trying to figure out, how to communicate with different groups of people. And they have just bought in. They come into the office every day. They want to watch film, they want to get to know us as coaches, and they want to be around us, and I want to be around them. They're fun to be around. They crack me up. They're hilarious. So we have a good thing going. I think our culture is really good. And honestly, that's just a testament to Coach Todd and the style he's brought here to Eastern Kentucky. He has that cool, calm, laid back manner. And I think a lot of people, including myself, do well under that, because you're able to spread your wings, and he allows you to fail, which I think is good, because, I don't know, personally, I learn better by doing. And so I think our players take to that well. And, he just has a unique style, and I think that they have bought into him for sure.
You guys have a lot of different kinds of experience on the coaching staff. Of course, you national champion. You played a great career in college, and then you've also got a WNBA player, former WNBA player on the roster, and then you've got Matt. What everybody just says, he's Matt. But did you know either of the other assistants when you came in?
I did not. I had no knowledge of either one of them, but having an office right next to each one of them now, we've become really close. We work really, really, really well together. So again, a great coaching staff to be around, and and Lindsay as well, our director of operations. She's done a fantastic job, and her and I have become very close too.
It's funny. I've talked with all the girls about that we've had on the show throughout the season about, hey, how hard was it to mesh with the coaching staff and meet with new, freshmen that came in and learning a new system and a new teammates and all that kind of stuff. And it's something that kind of gets overlooked, I think, sometimes, is the coaching staff has to do the same thing because you're getting to know each other as a coaching staff, and you have to work together or else things won't work very well. And from what I could see, again, just looking from the outside in, you all seem to really get along well, and you said that you do, but it looks that way too. It looks like you guys are having fun and working together to better the girls, better the team. And we as fans appreciate what you guys did this year, and we're working hard. Our show is just a small portion of the fan base, but we're working hard to try to rally some more support for next year. Hopefully we can get better crowds in the arena and things like that as well. But congratulations on your 30 under 30 from the WBCA again. Congratulations on a good first season at EKU, and we're really looking forward to what's ahead for you guys. Thank you for coming on and talking with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. You guys do a wonderful job, and we're excited to keep having you guys around. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. That's Abby Owings, assistant basketball coach for the EKU women's team. Absolutely a blast talking with her. Thank you, Abby, for coming on, Coach Owings, and appreciate you. And as always, we appreciate EKU and their willingness to help us out with these interviews. Chris and Kevin and Rickson, and then, of course, the staff, Coach Todd, all the way through the players, just been so friendly with us this year. We really appreciate that. And again, looking forward to what's ahead for this team. This is just the start, right, for Coach Todd and that program. And he obviously has a great staff. The players respect the coaches, and looking forward to what is ahead for this ladies team in the years to come. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about other EKU sports and things going on, and we'll get to the interview with EKU baseball All-American pitcher Will Bryan. But first, a quick word from our sponsors.
With over 20 years of experience, Matt Schaefer and the good folks at locally owned IPM Pest and Termite provides pest control service for all of Central Kentucky's pest control needs. Whether you have a current pest control problem or want to prevent infestation from ever entering your home, IPM Pest and Termite offers maintenance programs that will help keep pests out of your home and provide peace of mind. So for dependable, reliable services that you can count on, get in touch with our good friend Matt Schaefer at IPM Pest and Termite today at myipm.com. That's myipm.com.
Does the exterior of your home need a facelift? All Around Roofing has you covered. All Around Roofing is a veteran-owned company servicing Madison County and all of Central Kentucky. From roof repairs and replacements to gutters, siding, windows, soffits, chimney flashings, and more. All Around Roofing provides quality work and friendly service that will leave your house looking great. Call today at 859-489-5179 to get a free quote. That is 859-489-5179. We can handle your all-around exterior needs at All Around Roofing.
Welcome back into the Sports Stove, a local hour presented by IPM Pest and Termite. And again, go to myipm.com to get more information about IPM and how they can help your pest needs if you live in Central Kentucky. And make sure you let them know that you heard about them on the Sports Stove podcast or the Sports Stove Local Hour. I do want to let you know the Sports Stove does have 2 other episodes every week. Monday and Friday are the other episodes. My dad joins me for most of those. We talk sports, all around sports and different things going on. And on our Friday episode, we have a MMA referee that'll be joining us to talk about mixed martial arts, UFC, and other things involved there as well. Let's see here. A couple things going on in the EKU athletics world. EKU softball, kind of slow going here as they're rolling along in their season. Their next home game will be April 2nd and 3rd. They've got a doubleheader on the 2nd against and then a game on the 3rd against Stetson. So they host Stetson. They're in Jacksonville, Florida here this week, but we'll be back home next week. Beach volleyball off to a slow start as well. That program, of course, just getting off the ground, and they're definitely rolling along, but probably not quite as well as they hoped. But nonetheless, they are, again, building that program. Looking forward to what's ahead for them. EKU golf, both the men and the women have 2 events left before the ASUN Championship. The girls will host an event in April, and so make sure you get out and support the Colonel golf team, and then they'll get into the ASUN Championship there, and then depending on how things go, the NCAA Championship as well. The baseball team, 13-8. And they are 2-1 in the ASUN. A good start to the ASUN conference. And we've talked about this with a few other people, including Coach Prothrow, that the ASUN is a step up from the OVC, and you need solid players to compete. And Coach Prothrow's done a good job to bring in new players, transfers, and things like that. One of the players he was able to retain was Will Bryan. And Will Bryan, who at one time was a starting pitcher, and last year moved to the bullpen as a closer, and this year was named preseason All-American, and he's on a watch list for Stopper of the Year as well. And Will Bryan is showing that he has the stuff. 8 saves so far this season. And Will Bryan took a little bit of time to talk with us earlier this week. Again, this interview is presented by All Around Roofing. If you go to Facebook and search All Around Roofing KY, you'll find All Around Roofing's Facebook page. You can see pictures before and after of the construction and things that they've done. Again, they handle all the exterior needs, so siding, chimneys, soffits, windows, as well as, of course, roofing replacements and repairs. So make sure you look them up, give them a call. Make sure you let them know that you heard about them on the Sports Stove. All Around Roofing presents the All-American Will Bryan.
Joining us now is EKU pitcher Will Bryan. Will, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely, our pleasure. Preseason All-American by both the ASUN and the NCBWA. Does that put any pressure on you coming into the season?
I mean, it does, but going into it, I try not to look much into it. I try looking after postseason, see what I can get, but it's an honor that I was a mention and everything for it, but I want to see how the season plays out and see where it gets me.
Yeah, you also got named to the NCBWA Stopper of the Year watch list, of course. Since you've kind of transitioned into that closer role, you've really shined. Not that you were bad before or anything, but do you like being that? Closer is the word I've always called it, so I assume that's what you guys call it. Do you like that role?
Yeah, I just felt more comfortable in the bullpen always. I've been here for 5 years. I was a starter for my first 3 years, and then I talked to the coaches about moving me into the bullpen. After the summer league, I played for in the Valley League in Virginia, and then I just moved to the bullpen, got very comfortable with it, and then just excelled.
Do you think that's kind of opening your options for down the road future pro baseball?
I think it adds value for sure. Considering I've started in the past, and being in the bullpen just kind of gives me the variety to do both.
Yeah, lots of versatility in there. So far this season, if these numbers are correct, you pitched 12 innings, 12.1 innings. You got a win, 8 saves. The ERA is still 1.46. The team seems to be really clicking. Great record here to start the season. You guys are in conference play now. One of the things I've asked, Coach Prothrow and the couple players we've had on already, you guys transitioned to the ASUN, and you were in OVC, and it looks like the ASUN will be a much tougher competition. What are you seeing from the conference so far that kind of gives you an idea what the rest of the season is going to hold?
We just got done playing North of Al. We took 2 of 3. I will say the ASUN is a better conference than the OVC, in my opinion. Granted, there is some OVC teams such as Jacksonville State that moved over into the ASUN as well with us. But I think overall the competition will be better, which only can make us better.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's going to come down to. Now, you guys, there's a lot of new guys on the team this year, but it seems like everybody's kind of meshed pretty well pretty early on.
From the day we got on campus, I think Will and Kendall also mentioned this in past interviews. We all just kind of clicked. From the very first day we got on campus, very first practice, we were all kind of very close. We all kind of formed a bond, and then that just only made us stronger and better.
How does that happen? Is that a result of just the individuals on the team with the same mindset? Is it the coaching staff? What goes into that?
I think that, a lot of the guys in this year's team were a lot older, very mature. They've been in multiple culture backgrounds within teams. So I think guys coming in from different cultures, everything like that, they all bring it in. Everyone is interested in who came from where. So I just think that makes us stronger.
Let's talk briefly about Will King, your catcher. I know there's other catchers on the roster too, but Will's getting a lot of attention. Does it make a difference what catcher you throw to?
No, I love throwing to all of our catchers. But Will has taught me the most. I've had more experience with Will behind the plate. I've also had Michael Gorig behind the plate as well. They're both great catchers. Will has been here since last year. He came in as a young guy, he came over into the spring, so it was a little different. He never caught anyone in the fall, so him coming over and then showing us that he was young and can play some baseball, that kind of, made things a lot easier. But Will's great behind the plate. I love throwing to him. He's a great guy. If you miss your spot, he's there to help you out. So it just makes things run smoother.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess my question is with when you're a pitcher throwing, because there are differences, I guess, between catchers. They have different tendencies, different things that they do well, those kinds of things. How does it affect the mental game of a pitcher, just in general, when you're throwing to a different catcher versus the guy you're most used to?
I mean, I know some guys look into it. I don't as much. I love throwing to everybody, but I know some guys prefer others when they get into a game just because that's who they're more comfortable with. Too, anyways. I know in the fall this year, we said GRC, our field was being redone, so we were able to mix in with both catchers. So that made everything a lot easier for us. Where when we transferred over into the spring, we wouldn't have to have that issue with anything. If they were behind the plate, we were comfortable with it. They knew where stuff moved and everything like that. So it just made things a lot easier.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's part of what makes you special in your current role, especially just not the mental side of the game. I'm not a baseball player. I'm a slow pitch softball champion, but that doesn't really mean anything. So I'm interested, I guess, in the mental aspect of the game and how. Because you see pitchers, if you watch the majors, you see guys that they've got their catcher, like he only plays with them for the most part and things like that. And I'm intrigued by it. I think the mental aspect of pitching is different than all the other positions because of what you're facing. How much preparation do you put in to film studying the batters that you're going to be facing?
I mean, usually going into every weekend, we use what's called Synergy. It's basically just we can go in, review players that we're going to be facing, everything like that, break down what pitches they struggle with, what pitches they're good at, where to locate. So going into games, we usually have a general idea of what to expect, especially because of our coaches doing scouting reports, things like that for us, especially on days that we travel. We usually have like a team meeting. They break it down for us so we know to going into the weekend and everything, we know what to expect. So, I mean, mental game is a big part of baseball, no matter who or what position you play. So, yeah.
Do you have a preference on home or away? Typically, people would think it's always going to be playing at home's good, but you get into some nicer weather sometimes on the road. So, do you have a preference? Or let's put it this way. That's a bad question. Let's put it this way. What road stadiums do you like to play in?
I mean, of course, I love the SEC, ACC stadiums that we played in the past, like Georgia Tech, LSU. This year we opened up at Mercer. I love their field. It was very warm. So anywhere kind of down south, it's always warmer to open up the season, whereas here in Kentucky, it's usually, 20 degrees and snowing sometimes. So
yeah,
usually down south is where I like to open up the year, but I've played at some pretty good stadiums since I've been here. And I've enjoyed it. I mean, you got UK, of course. You got Louisville. So those are always fun stadiums to play at.
Awesome. All right. What do we expect from the team the rest of the season? Are we competing for a Sun title? Obviously, that's the goal. But what's the look ahead?
Of course, winning the ASUN is always the goal. I think this year we have a great team, and we have a chance to do that. We just got to continue to play our best and keep pushing ourselves. So, again, we opened up this conference series. We took 2 out of the 3 from North Al, which was really big, especially open up at a new conference and everything like that. So we just got to continue to progress.
Yeah, you guys got a game. Let's see here. This episode airs Wednesday. You guys got a game Tuesday night against Northern Kentucky at home. And I'll tell you, my family came out to the doubleheader a couple of weeks ago now. Absolutely love the facility. I know AD Roan said you guys are getting a new scoreboard hopefully soon, which will just make it that much nicer. But I would encourage anyone listening to make sure you get out to a game. We've been talking with some folks at our church about coming out to a game and stuff. And you guys have a great product on the field this year and excited about what's ahead for you guys. I want to close out the interview with just some get to know you questions. So let's start with your favorite movie.
I wouldn't say I necessarily have a favorite, but I'm really big into Marvel. So like the Avengers, Spider-Man, Thor. Those are the kind of movies I like to enjoy.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with the Marvel movies, I don't think. Your favorite musician or musical artist?
R&B, I would say Juice WRLD, but country, Morgan Wallen.
Okay. Do you have this here? You don't bat, do you?
I do not know.
Yeah. Okay. If you were to bat, what would your walk-up song be?
I don't know. I've never really put much thought into that. I know as a pitcher, I have Grove Street, which
Okay.
I enjoy running out to the mound with that because it gets all the fans and our team kind of hyped in the dugout. So that always gives me a good old pump.
Yeah, good. Let's see here. Your favorite food?
I'm gonna have to say chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. Is there a specific, like from a specific restaurant or homemade?
Nothing specific.
All right, just any kind of chicken Alfredo. Then your favorite ice cream flavor?
I would have to say vanilla or banana.
Oh, now see, I like that. Banana, I like banana flavored stuff. My wife hates banana flavored stuff, but more for me. And then the last question is, if you could have dinner with one person, past or present, dead or alive, who would that one person be?
I'll say Randy Johnson.
Ooh, that's a good one. Now, let's see, because you said you've been around 5 years. How old are you? I
will be 23 come April 25th.
Okay, so you're still pretty young for Randy Johnson, but is that kind of? Well, I mean, he's a different body type than you. Do you have a pitcher that you kind of molded your style after?
No, not really. I just try to be me. Just do everything I can, just being me. Not try to be anyone else. Not trying to mimic anyone else. Just.
Well, it's working. So keep it up. Will Bryan, EKU pitcher, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Will Bryan, the EKU closer, and continuing just to have a phenomenal season and hopefully opens up some more doors once he's done here at EKU as well. Sure appreciate him coming on and chatting. And again, if you can make it out to the ball field, they do a great job there. There's some great deals on the concession stands. The field is absolutely gorgeous. And the product on the field is very good this year as well. So make sure you get out to an EKU baseball game there also. All right, that is our episode for tonight and today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you to IPM Pest and Termite and All Around Roofing for their support of this podcast. Thank you to Abby Owings and to Will Bryan for coming on and guesting on the show today. And again, thank you to the university for doing their part to help us make it all happen. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Sports Stove. That's at Sports Stove. You can catch this if you're listening on the audio form. You can always catch the video form on bellyup.tv or the Belly Up Sports Network on your Roku or on Tiki Live on the Belly Up Sports channel Wednesdays at 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then, of course, we got the other episodes that air on Mondays and Fridays as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Sports Stove Local Hour. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.
McKinney looks, sets to the pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes. We're going to play up-tempo. We're going to play with unbelievable passion. And then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.